fellow Africans, since 1957, when Ghana gained independence, there has been quite a lot of political, social, economic indicators on the African continent that show that Africa has progressed from pre-independence Africa to post-independence Africa.
Ghana, your beloved country, is free forever. From now on, there is a new African in the world. That new African is ready to fight his own battle and show that after all, the black man is capable of managing his own affairs.
66 years down the road, Africa finds itself with the first country, Ghana, having gained independence. We find ourselves still locked up, controlled, manipulated, instructed, logistically supplied, equipped by foreign powers that dictate our agenda. Africa is endowed with plenty of minerals, resources, good weather. The climate is so favorable for the growth of food enough to sustain us. But we find ourselves in countries where hunger is killing people. Hunger is killing people because most of the people have taken to arms to fight wars, conflicts. Starvation has taken the place of development. In most African countries like Sudan, South Sudan, Central African Republic, Cameroon, Nigeria, in Biafra, and the north of Nigeria, there is Boko Haram. Somalia, in the Horn of East Africa, we have taken to conflict instead of development. Development was the key indicator. When Kwame Nkrumah made the first speech that seek ye African political unity, economic development will come automatically, he was right. The events happening in Libya today vindicates Nkrumah, vindicates Nyerere, Sekou Toure, and Nasser, the founding fathers of our Pan-Africanism. The events happening in Central African Republic, in Congo today, as the war of rebels ranges on between the rebel and the rebels and the government and the government, and the rebels vindicates the founding fathers of this revolution. Our independence, therefore, was only on paper. Our independence, therefore, was only in symbols. Our independence also was in signs. Our independence also was in boundaries. That we received our flags, but we never received full independence as by the word independence. Most of the 3/4 of African countries, French-speaking countries, have their budgets being done in Paris. Is that independence? The Paris government or the French government does its budgets based on how much they will get from African countries. Is that independence? Is this the Africa that you want? Is it the Africa that we must look at? Is it the Africa that we shall leave for the future generation? If the answer to you is yes, then so be it. But if the answer is no, you agree with me that this is not the Africa we want to leave for the future generation. Our generations and the future generation need to find a legacy. What is the legacy that Africa and African Union will leave for the future generation? The wars ranging in Libya in South Sudan, in Khartoum, in Mogadishu, in DRC Congo, in Amazonia, in Cameroon, Boko Haram, Mali, in Mauritania, the uprisings in Algeria, all point to one thing, that yes, we are not yet independent. We are still controlled by external forces. Thank you.
Peace and unity define our primordial foundation on which Kenya has stood in defining its nationhood and creed. And as Kenyans head for elections in August 2022, we must be driven by clear conscience to vote for peace and national unity. Kenyans are firm believers in cohesive society, and this is the reason many of our great leaders and Kenyans of all walks have consistently paid homage in song and dance, our collective strength arising from our melting pot of cultural diversity. Peace is the embodiment of our collective hope, zeal, and desire to build a greater common good for Kenyans. As Kenya goes to the polls later this year, every Kenyan must remember that elections are transient, but Kenya remains. We must therefore stand on guard to protect unity and together in diversity. As a country, we can collectively go far when we all embrace peace and national unity as part of the ongoing political campaigns during and even after the 2022 polls. We remember that the year 2018 remains focal in our history because it reminds us of greatness of a republic among the community of nations when we rose above parochial politics to concert our efforts to building national peace and unity. We must all think in reflection of President Kenyatta's consistent call for national unity and peace. In the famous words of our national anthem, "May we dwell in unity that endures all Kenyan generations. Unity is the pedestal of our collective effort to build better and stronger society."
Corruption in Africa has destroyed several millions and millions of lives. Corruption in Africa has been institutionalized in many institutions. Across the continent of Africa, each country is bleeding as a result of corruption. There are few countries in Africa that have tried to fight corruption mercilessly, without fear or favor. Rwanda is one of them. And you can see the percentage, the number of the place where it sits, Seychelles. You can see where it sits in terms of number one in Africa in the fight against corruption. But corruption is also an obstacle in this period of Lent. Let's look at the story, the parable of Jesus when he said, "Go ye ahead and get a new donkey that has never done any work before he enters the kingdom, the temple of Jerusalem, to drive away thieves, robbers, killers, tax collectors like Zakayo." In Kenya, we have a Zakayo who has not returned everything, but claims to use the Bible to get the people to vote for him. Claims to be very innocent. Claims to have not stolen anything, even when proxies, the closest cronies, have been found in possession of stolen cash. From National Health Insurance Fund to National Insurance, National Youth Service, to Kenya Pipeline, to KPLC, to Kenya, all these institutions, a proxy was used. to the Kimerol and Emerald, although he stood up and said he wasn't part of it, still proxies were used to fuel shortages. The company is supplying fuel. They take fuel into another country, then return the fuel, sell it at an exorbitant price. Is this the Africa we want? Therefore, Africa needs a new donkey. This is the last 4 months, the last period of Lent for President Uhuru Kenyatta of Kenya. He has fought against corruption. He has tried to bring in laws. But the laws in Kenya, the criminal justice system in Kenya is slow. It does not punish like in China, firing squad, killing people by firing squad who are involved in corruption. The law in Kenya goes slow. The wheel is slow. The judges are corrupt. So many things happen in Kenya. Therefore, corruption is still the biggest obstacle in entering a New Jerusalem. Indeed, out of all the 5 sample cases, Nigeria, South Africa, Rwanda, South Sudan, and Kenya, the countries have taken, only one is in the second with 2 digits. That is Rwanda. The rest are in 3 digits out of 108 index. Fellow Africans, as a Pan-African, I'm concerned. Take your time, look at my clip, think again. Does Africa need a new donkey towards a new Jerusalem during this period of Lent? And that donkey in Kenya is none other than Raila Amolo Odinga, who can lead the people of Kenya in the fight against corruption. Thank you. Vote him, vote Raila, vote for him. Let him take Kenya to a new Jerusalem. God bless you.
In the heart of the rocky, rugged savanna landscape in Kenya's Rift Valley, a quiet sanctuary sits beautifully in a pristine environment. Welcome to Kikaloj, Gilgil, an exclusive wilderness resort with spectacular scenic views, rock formations sculpted by time, water and wind, and a sunset that gives way to silent nights. We took time to unravel nature's beauty so that you would come to experience it at its most majestic form. Our charming canvas cottages come with opulent beds and plush armchairs. Sink into them with your book or cozy up and listen to your favorite music, or just talk and get to know yourself and nature better in the silence that abounds. During your stay at Kikaloj, your comfort and relaxation is our business. That's why we set up spacious double rooms ideally orchestrated for couples getaways or for families looking to relax in a place that is essentially a home away from home. Our strategic location treats you to a close-by experience of Nakuru National Park, Hell's Gate National Park, Lake Naivasha and Mount Longonot, as well as several other local attractions around the vicinity. Experience first-class treatment from our qualified staff, serving you the most tantalizing of meals prepared with only the best of ingredients by the best of chefs. Make reservations and we will go an extra mile to accommodate you. Accommodation rates are affordable. Kikaloj, home away from home.
Somalia has been on the lips of many people in Africa. But Somalia also has been the pain for the people of Africa. Since 1991, Somalia has been the biggest pain that Africa has ever seen. People killed, governments overthrown, assassinations. The state collapsed to become a pariah state. But Somalia is a country that is bound to bounce back, given that they have now a new leadership, a leadership that can bring about peace, a leadership that can see what way Somalia, which way do we go. The presence of American troops that were taken 700 and now the return of 500 American troops is a boost to the security, but how much and how long will it boost the security of Somalia? Good morning, viewers across the continent of Africa and those in their countries respectively. In Africa, from Tripoli up to Cape Town, from Cairo up to Abuja to Asmara, in different north, west, east, south, in Harare. Good morning. Viewers across the continent, also in Central African Republic, in Kinshasa. The Democratic Republic of Congo still continues to bring more chaos. M23 rebels, funded by Rwanda, are still causing havoc. Congo, DRC, Kitsekedi, I warned you. I said it here. So security experts always underrate my statements. Thank you very much. God bless you. I told you. You cannot, and I said it, Tanzania, somebody told me that, oh, Tanzanians are like it. I tell you, you cannot come on the table with the same people funding the rebels and say you want to negotiate their fate. You are simply putting your country at a risk. So good morning, Africa. Today, Untold, Unfiltered show brought to you by Dr. David Matanga in Mombasa, Kenya, across the continent of Africa, the Indian Ocean, and across in Nairobi's Central District CBD, headquarters of Punchline Africa Television, none other than our senior presenter, senior anchor. Thank you very much, Miriam Ogutu. Good morning.
A good morning to you, Doc, and a good morning to our viewers.
And thank you very much. You were in the right position, and then gradually you have returned to a different position. The other position was very fantastic. Were you basking in the sunshine? Good morning, Gladwell Kirago.
Very good morning to Dr. David Matsanga. Good morning to our senior anchor, Miriam Ogutu. Good morning to our viewers.
Yes, I saw Daniel Wesonga. Good morning, Daniel. And he disappeared, but Gladwell is our reporter on social matters and on the legacy trend, who is standing in for us to bring us the updates of President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy. Thank you very much. Our show, and when Wesonga comes in, good morning, all of you. If you want to join our show and you want to make a contribution, don't stand on the fence. The number is 399-535, yes, 8320. That is, you enter the Zoom. Then the passcode is 503670. You are there. You can interact with us. You can chat with us. As long as you are not coming to insult us on public microphones. And if you insult, we block you. We don't block you, but we mute you. Then if you be well behaved, we unmute you. So you are free to come and exchange your views. This is a platform for us. We are going in elections, and we need as many people as possible to make their views known.
We want everybody to know what it is taking place in Kenya that is different in African countries. Yesterday there was a prayer, and I think Miriam will start us with the news headlines, making headlines fast. The headlines only of Africa, of Kenya. What are they? What is on the newspapers? Then we come on nitty-gritty. Yesterday's prayer is going, of course, to merge out of all this. Who said what? Who is a religious man? Who is a Zakayo? So Miriam set us going. Good morning, Africa.
Very well, thank you. So I'll just do the necessary. The Star newspaper this morning, the main headline, Raila Ruto in a fiery battle for 50+1. State House campaigns to get even hotter as more teams hit the ground running. The story is on page 4 and 5. Polls preparations deeply flawed, says the constitutional experts. We shall look at that on page 4. Kenyatta's tactful retreat in succession contest, that is on page 6, and US offers 200 million bounty for 2 wanted Kenyans, that is on page 2. Baker and pastor torture boys, roast their feet for stealing cakes, that is on page 19. The Daily Nation, the main pictorial there, of course, is the one for Azimio running mate Martha Karua, and the main headline is Martha Karua effect. Barely 2 months ago, this sharp-tongued, quick-witted lawyer come politician was nowhere near the Kenyatta succession matrix, but how did she quickly build a following and bring oomph to an otherwise humdrum Azimio campaign? For some, it all boils down to the appeal of her straight-backed approach to politics, but for many others, especially Kenya's young women, Karua is the embodiment of a dream come true. The stories on page 4, 5, and 6. Forgive me, Ruto implores Uhuru. That is on page 12. Raila campaigns in Busia as Ruto dangles projects in Coast. That is on page 13. And the Standard newspaper, the main headline, Ruto, forgive me. On the day President Uhuru Kenyatta promised to hand over power peacefully in August, his deputies sought forgiveness for any wrongs committed while he served as his number 2, while Raila Odinga's running mate Martha Karua calling out the hypocrisy of politicians. The story is on page 3 and 4. Rigathi outburst created disquiet in Kenya Kwanza, that is on page 8, and World Cup trophy comes to Kenya, and President Uhuru Kenyatta led the country in receiving that, in holding that World Cup trophy. And then the spotlight today on the Standard newspaper is on Siaya County, which has a registered voters of 457,957, and of those who voted in 2017 is 380,185, and we only have 74 days to go to the general election. Abuse in the Gulf, a theater of broken hope and dreams, that is a special story on page 12 and 13. So that is what we have, and of course on top of some of the headlines that I've read this morning, of course, what happened this week that we shall be looking at, IBC receiving the presidential aspirants, papers, and we shall look at the poll preparations, and of course our main story that we shall start with is the national prayers that happened yesterday. Back to you, Doc.
Thank you very much. I will start with the story of the pastor banning minors for stealing cakes. There is a very bad behavior in this country, and some people pretend to be good. They are not good. The behavior is so shit. It's bad. They say it. You can't ban. A church is a place of sanctuary. A church is a place where people go for sorings. But to reach a stage of a bishop banning minors for cake, the unfiltered, we don't take it lightly. Africa has become a center of absurdity of the highest degree. A center of absurdity of the highest degree. Everybody looks to be taller than what the height is, to be shorter than the height they have. And Miriam, we have ended up where we are here. We go to church, we go for prayer, and then we come out even Zakayo, who was told that God said, go and return everything before you come to say, forgive me to enter the kingdom of God, was also present. I liked what Martha Karua said. Martha Karua has coined a new word. Can we call ourselves brethren? Brethren. What is that word in English? In you people who go to church? Brethren. Call ourselves brethren. Brethren. Ah, hallelujah. Yerusalem, brethren. Because there is no, look, she's right here. And I think if, whether Azimio, let me tell you, Miriam, whether Azimio wins or does not win, there is going to begin a discipline, and the Kenyans are going to begin to see which side is going to bring discipline in their social affairs. I listened to Martha Karua this morning. I think if we had Martha much earlier, some people, younger people, would be behaving the way they behave, would not be behaving the way they behave, Miriam. If we had the Martha Karua's teaching as manners, you have been given the behavior. Look, Miriam, I stand from this pastor point of view. It's here. People have come to your place because they don't have food. You ban them. You ban their legs. You ban their limbs, and they're in hospital. And this is a pastor. And I've been talking about evangelism, American evangelism, that has led to people entering schools and shooting people. And some people here say, I have this, I want, if you say somebody to do this, I want this, I want that. That is what the life medium, that's where we are heading. That's where we are heading. Don't you see where we are heading, medium? Look at our presidential candidates saying we want to smoke bangi. The life is coming for the younger generation. People are going to, don't be shocked that Wajikoya will have a lot of following, because people would rather go and smoke bangi, and when you have a knife, you go and even stab your mother who has cooked for you. Is that not where we are going? You have a gun. There are people here legalizing, saying the guns should be legalized. And there will be people coming to shoot people in classes. American religion is combined. If you look at the background of the shooter, he's not a Muslim fanatic, is he? He's not from the Gulf states, is he? He's not from Iraq, is he? He's not from Syria, is he? He's from America. The evangelical classes that you talk about, that people go and crowd in their churches on Sunday, has come to Kenya and Africa now. My own country, Uganda, is full of those churches where bishops are fighting over property. Yes. When some of us grew up, I was baptized in 1955 when I was young. And I graduated to be a man in the church in 1960. When they called me and I put my confirmation, Miriam, I don't know how you call it in church, confirm that I understand the Anglican church. We grew up in the church. We grew up knowing of sharing, but not knowing of burning people's limbs. Therefore, when I speak about the church, I'm qualified, because I was baptized, confirmed, even before Ruto was born. Therefore, I've lived on this planet more than Ruto to tell us that he has come. Forgive me, but I also forgive those who have wronged me. Who has wronged you? You wronged yourself out of the office. You didn't work with your boss. You forgot the 48 laws of power. Martha Karua has summed that and said, Brethren. Let's call ourselves brethren, not Christians, not any other name, not a saint, not what. All of us call ourselves brethren, not. You know, the word I would like to use now, as we speak now, comrades. Because in China, there is no religion. But Martha has simplified it and said, brethren. There is also one word as you continue to speak. That's my topic. That's something that has struck me. The politics is normal. We want to speak about how Martha is powerful. Me, that one, Miriam, thank you very much. That's my opening remarks on the word as you give us the lineup of what we shall be following through. But mine is a commentary. Miriam, mark my words, we are entering a period of very serious religious fundamentalism, commercial religious activities. The bishops, among the bishops who stood there, the only archbishop who rejected money was the Archbishop of Nyeri. My own Bishop or Sapiti, before he came to buy contributions in churches, he had already received contribution. Miriam, if I'm wrong, cut my hand. The provost of the All Saints Church is a hustler. He wears even the uniform. Wainaina, the provost of All Saints Church, is a Ruto sympathizer. In fact, he has gone to Ruto's place many times. This is our Anglican church. Bishop Anthony Maheira of Nyeri is the only word I picked last night. And can I, as I close my remarks this morning, which goes in line with Raila's motto and Uhuru Kenyatta's motto, redemption. That's it. I'm not bothered anymore. Redemption. If you don't do it, who cares? Who cares? If you don't do it, who cares? Some of us have had our share. My country has had our share. I have had my share. I've had my share in northern Uganda. What do I bother about? Why should I be calling and I break? I have had a share. None of you here has had a share. The share I have. No. I've seen what conflicts are. So if Kenyans don't listen to you, Paul said Jesus said you pick the dust and just move on. There are other people who will listen, but it is coming back. It's coming back now. It's coming back. It's coming back. The choice is very simple, Miriam. The choice is between, if you are caught between the right and the wrong. Miriam, tell me. If you are caught between the right and the wrong, what do you choose? You become neutral. I leave it there. All these I've posted them on my website, on my Facebook. If you have any challenge, you can insult. You can insult me. A few weeks ago, Miriam, in my opening speak, and I'm going to keep quiet until others make their comments. I told you that Ruto has taken every woman of yours, every girlfriend you find in the streets. It has now come true. Wesonga, am I wrong? Welcome to the show. Daniel Wesonga, are you there? It has now been printed in one of the dailies. with a photograph of what I said was correct. Although
the Standard has confirmed that is fake.
Yeah, the Standard can confirm. Are you the one who from the Standard who could confirm whether it was Standard? Someone, listen, Miriam, there is also someone with the Standard logo who has written. And that's what happens nowadays. If you write something and that is catching, you remember there is only one thing that we have posted, which has never been rebutted as a fake. The agreement between the agreement between Musalia. You remember I posted that agreement. Nobody came out to say it is fake. But the rest of the things, even a letter from the IEBC, when they see the letter from the IEBC, ask Wesonga. When they see the letter that is touching them, they write. They even print the thing, the logo of Standard, and they say it is wrong. So it is up to you, Miriam. Now, you as the person on the headquarters, pick a phone and call Standard and ask them. Because all the production team. But I have, as far as I'm concerned, from my sources in Standard.
Yeah. They have refuted. Because, Kenyans are very good in Photoshop. And, we are... Yeah, so they actually...
Yeah, they have refuted.
That is not from them, yes. And they've shown the actual, front page of that. Was it the Nairobian? Yeah. They
didn't put us the true front page of Nairobian on the same one. They should have put this one and that one. Miriam, just as you have said, there are people doing Photoshopping. There are editors also being bought to do Photoshopping. Accept that. I agree with you. The people paying editors, if people want you and me to appear on those pages, they will pay them. This is going on. That one I agree with you. Everybody here has learned Photoshop. They can even publish nude photographs about you and anybody, or Gladwell, or Wesonga. They are doing it. And it comes in your paper, but nobody takes action. For example, has the Standard, for example, today gone to the DCI to place a complaint? Miriam, I'm asking all of you, if it is not true, why don't you go to the DCI and say there is somebody? Because the cyber unit of DCI, Miriam, believe me or not, the cyber unit of DCI, in the name of God, will find out where Kiragu is right now. Wesonga, if I'm telling lies, I keep quiet up to the end of the show. The cyber unit of DCI will find out where Miriam is tweeting from now. So why is it that the Standard, apart from putting on the same social media, misusing the same social media, the Standard just comes up and says it is wrong? So whom are we to believe now? Another element of legal, a legal idol, what can we call it? A legal idol approach. The Standard cannot go to DCI to report that we are a reputable paper, Miriam. We publish articles that are read by children, by men, by women, by elderly. But there is somebody in this country, Sir Mr. DCI Kinoti, Mr. DCI head of his cyber unit, who is using our... Is there any case? No. So it means I am justifying my sense to say, I'm not saying the photograph is correct, but I'm telling you, there are editors, and I know the mafia man in this media who goes around to pay editors. He has been dismissed from several radio stations and TV stations. He can't get a job in any of the TV stations. to work as an editor who is ever bankrolling some of the editors not to call William, not to call Kiragu, not to call Wesonga, not to call Matanga, not to call this, draw this, malice Uhuru, put Uhuru's picture, then tomorrow say it is fake. What message is it to the children? I'm only asking. What message is it to the readers? You have spoiled your newspaper. So go to the DCI. If the DCI comes up tomorrow and says it is Kiragu who is spreading this stupidity, they will arrest you. Thank you. That's my submission.
All right. Daniel Wesonga, good morning. I don't know if you're there.
So thank you so much, Miriam. Could you just maybe repeat the question? Yeah, I didn't get you quite clear.
There is no there is no question. We are just storming on. I raised the question because that's the point of not being on the line. You know, I raised a question and I said the churches have a problem.
Yes.
The bishop going to ban people because of cakes. Churches used to be the place where we go for sorries.
Yes.
Yeah. And nowadays it is not a church for sorries. Then it moved to the photocopies that have appeared in the Standard. And I said a few weeks ago, or about 4 weeks ago, 1 month ago, I published in my Facebook, I said Ruto has taken everything in this Kenya, including your women.
Yes.
And I'm not shy about that. That's where we are. Let me bring you that background. Proceed, please.
Yes, and I honestly agree with you, Dr. Masanga, because when by the look of things, when you look at the church right now, the way it is, it has been a church that has been domiciled, a church that has not been talking about the ills that are happening in the society, and it has been busy collecting tokens from William Ruto, and it has not been so keen to castigate or even to point out the evils that the same politician has been doing to the economy of this country, the same evils that has been perpetuated by his cronies. And therefore, Dr. Masanga, when you say that the Church of Kenya has really changed, I totally agree with you, because it is not the same church we used to have, the same vibrant church that actually gave us the second liberation, the same church of Bishop Muge, the same church of Bishop Ndingi Mwana Nzeki, the same church of Reverend Timothy Njoya. So I think this is a church that has been corrupted by illicit money, the proceeds of corruption, and they are not doing Kenyans or the Christians of this country any justice. And I agree with their sentiments. I would also like to echo the sentiments of the Interior PS, Dr. Karanja Kibicho, that the church leaders, the clergy, should take the forefront of actually educating people about the truth and making very informed political decisions. So if we do not have church leaders actually educating their congregants on the need of electing leaders of integrity, rather they have joined the gravy train of eating the money, then Yes, sorry. The church which is supposed to be the shepherds of the people of God has actually failed the Christians and the people of God. And Dr. Matsanga, they are given the authority by God to actually to be able to shepherd the people into the right direction. So if you do not have our people going into the right direction because of the lies that are being spread at the pulpit, then I think we are losing this nation, Dr. Matsanga. I submit.
Okay, thank you so much. Gladwell.
Miriam, to be honest, nowadays, when you're talking about the churches, you're not talking about the churches that were there a long time ago. Actually, every church has become now it's like a market whereby it's just business that is done. Churches have turned to be a business places, a place whereby even the pastors, the priests are all making money in there. It's a business place, and what the most important thing, and what we should understand that, and what the churches and the leaders should understand, that the church should be a beacon of peace to our country. They should be on the forefront, actually preaching for peace, advocating for peace and unity in our country. But what do we see? Even the churches have divided. They have turned into political places whereby a politician can just storm in and the mass be disrupted because a particular politician is in the church doing a harambe. We can see somebody like Ruto, that is what he does, going into churches doing harambes and conducting. The mass is halfly disrupted because politicians have gone to church. And you see, so the church lost its initial meaning of whereby people could go, pray, and go home and have a blessing. And we always say that either you go to church to gain a blessing or a curse. Nowadays, I don't think either of these happen. And mostly we all come out of that place with a curse because we go with a clean heart, but the disruption in there, the spirits in there, the people who conduct the masses are not the same any longer. We knew the priests, the bishop. Mostly when you decide to take part in political things, activities that happens, the church should actually not be involved in these political things that is happening. In fact, they should be the ones preaching peace and unity in our country. That after elections, life has to continue. We still lead our country the way it is, and actually more better. But when the church comes in and say that now you have to support 1, 2, and 3, that's actually also intimidating the people, and that's why you're finding, even as insults are being thrown out here each and every day, you find that Miriam, there's a post I made in Facebook. I was shocked. A particular preacher actually insulted somebody, and I was like, now this is somebody who says that he's a reverend, but the insult he hurled, I was actually shocked. That is a man in a cloth claiming that he's a reverend. On Sundays, he holds the mass and bless the people. Are you blessing those people? You are casting them, depending on what you do. So let's what I'm trying to say, Miriam, as Mother Karua said yesterday, let our action go hand in hand with what we are doing. Let what we are doing, what we're saying, go in hand with our action. We can't say that let there be peace, and after you storm out of that gate, you're the first person to throw a stone at another. It can't work that way, Miriam. I submit.
Okay, very well. So let's just then get into the prayer breakfast that happened yesterday. And as you have rightfully put it, Gladwell Kirago, and as the Standard newspaper headline has captured, Karua was not having the hypocrisy that she saw being displayed yesterday, and we saw how she talked after the deputy president invited her to speak on behalf of Azimio. Now, the story is on page 3 on the Standard newspaper. For close to 2 decades, the National Prayer Breakfast has presented an opportunity for Kenyan leaders to put aside partisan politics and pray together for themselves and the country. But the event has also brought to the fore the question of leaders' failure to practice what they preach. This hypocrisy was pointed out by Azimio la Umoja One Kenya presidential running mate Martha Karua, who called for the actions of the politicians to match their words. Karua picked a cue from Nyeri Catholic Archbishop Anthony Muheria, who said the prayer breakfast was without meaning if the leaders did not learn to forgive and love each other. Could it be we are too used to gather for prayer but not mean it? Muheria posed. We pray that moving forward, and especially after these prayers, that our actions match our words. How we pray, especially for our leaders, that even as we compete, we do it so with ideas, not insults, that we lessen the tension in the nation by the way we treat one another. That is what Karua said. And also, I think during that prayer, DP asked President Uhuru Kenyatta to forgive him, and he also said that he forgave those who might have wronged him along the way in his in this political season. Doc, the prayer breakfast yesterday.
Miriam, let's be honest, my sister. How many times has Ruto stood in this prayer breakfast, shaking hands with Raila, shaking hands with clones, in front of external bishops, those who were created differently from us, because they called themselves the evangelicals, the bishops, those from America are closer Some of them claim to be closer to God than even African. That's why we are left wherever we are. They were there. And you remember, in the same prayer breakfast, William Ruto said, I grew up in a poor family. I had my first shoes from Onyango Butter Shop. I didn't know I would sit here on a table with the children of the rich. I think I was on the same set with Miriam Ogutu. And I said this following. That's why today I'm reminding everybody, those watching us, if I didn't say it, I said the worst thing that Ruto has said today is the politics of compensationalism. Omutima, omubi, omubi, bad heart, politics of bad faith. That because my father was poor, I didn't have shoes from Butter Shop of Onyango in Eldoret. I'm today here. Now you are going to eat because you are here. That's exactly what the Bishop Anthony of Nyeri was telling you. There is no need of coming to these functions. In fact, for me yesterday, the only man, there are few people that I've picked out who were very good to me. One, President Uhuru Kenyatta, he never quoted the Bible. Don't quote the Bible when you can't manage it. Remember in the Bible, that's why I brought at the beginning, Miriam, I brought the issue of having been baptized in 1955 as a younger person born. They poured the water on me. It was a rite of the Anglican Church. In 1960, I was confirmed into the church. I'm not saying I'm holy, I'm a saint. No, I might have my faults. That's not a problem. But God has kept me here, maybe to pass a message. It is very wrong that Jesus asked Zachariah, the man, Zachariah in our locals, we call him Zachariah. That what do I do to enter the kingdom of God? And the man replied, Jesus said, go and return everything that you have taken from the poor, the tax collector. You have collected taxes, paying the people, storing their property, chicken. I don't know whether there was chicken in Jerusalem at that time. Because nobody has told us when chicken was formed. If there is any Christian here who reads the Bible to tell me they supplied the chicken, the only thing I've known Miriam is fish. Among the 12 loaves, there was also fish. If I'm wrong, correct me. Today, let's not be silent. If you say I am talking wrongly about the Bible, the only thing that was available, Miriam, was fish. He brought 12 small pieces and a bread of small portions of crumbs of bread and magnified them and a fish. So fish has been there time memorial in water, but chicken had not come. So Jesus said, go and bring that, take it back to the people. Zachariah went back. He did all that. And then he came, again, Jesus was on his way towards Jerusalem. He asked, I have come back. Do you know what Jesus told him? Until you take back everything, you will not be admitted. Kiragu knows more about the religion. Maybe, I don't know whether she reads the Bible at night. I don't know. I don't know, but with Songa. Miriam, did you know whether Zacchaeus went to heaven or hell? Is there anywhere in the Bible what happened to Zacchaeus? Was he one of the followers? We don't know. The Bible left us in the middle there. Whether Zacchaeus, that's why yesterday's prayer was very clear. It was very, very clear. If you find that things are wrong, there's a wrong, a right, and a wrong. You stand neutral. I'm asking the panel. You stand neutral. You say, because you are a foreigner, you want to stand neutral and allow the right and the wrong to go home. Or you come and say, hapana, you hapana mzuri. You are Kenyan. If it is right and wrong, like Martha has said, if it is right and wrong, you don't stand neutral. You fight it up to the end. And I'm glad to say the second person who impressed me in all this is Martha Karua. The third person who impressed me, who kept quiet, who also said is the Muslim Sheikh. The third person who impressed me was Bishop Anthony Maheda of Nyeri. Bishop, long live. You touched my heart when you hit the point and said, you don't just come here when you haven't redempted. You shake hands when you haven't redempted with the person who recosea. It is useless. Bishop Anthony Maheda was very correct. As I finish, Miriam, the worst people who created us, even a nightmare yesterday, were the two speakers of National Assembly. I think you could see from their speeches that some of them wanted to hide because the president was looking at them directly. Their words could not come out. You have stolen it. You bought a wheelbarrow for 100,000. That's the next topic we are coming to. Whether to clear people who have already committed crime or suspected to continue to do it. Then later on go to court to waste the taxpayers' money to remove them. Is that the way we want Kenya? That's the next topic. But let's look at this. The speakers couldn't speak. Especially the wheelbarrow man from Bungoma could not speak to the public. Miriam, because he is ashamed. So yesterday's speech, the woman who took, the person who took the first prize was Uhuru Kenyatta. He stayed away from the Bible. The worst man who quoted a wrong verse was William Samoei Ruto. And I don't know why these bishops who go to his house don't tell him that at times, quote, what you don't know, talk like a Matanga. If you ask Matanga about the letter to Philippa, Philippa, my people, Philippa, Matanga knows it. And I will only simply tell you, go to the Philippians chapter 4. I don't want to go into details of messing my life. That letter is between chapter 4, verse 4 to 8. You will find the letter to Philippa. I don't want to mess. Why does Ruto make such silly mistakes? Then later on, what he has quoted for us on in the media, when you go to the Bible, it doesn't even exist. Lastly, Miriam, as I give way to other panelists, is the bishop of the Anglican Church of Kenya. He is the worst preacher that I have ever seen. I'm sorry, Bishop Osapiti, you are my bishop, but you ashamed me yesterday. The Anglican Church that you believe in, where some of us have been there for over 67 years. You lied. You lied. You are lying that, oh, we sit here in the vicinity. Why didn't you say, I love Ruto, and he's seated in the vicinity, he has not been given the high table? Meona, did you see that, media? Because the arrangement in Safari Park was that Ruto this time sat with, because this is a final prayer breakfast. The president has the moment to say bye-bye to MPs. You have already chosen a way, a path. From this Sunday, if I were William Samoei Ruto, just get out. Get out. Because the law is going to catch you, Mr. Ruto, if you use those vehicles. Medium, there are two scenarios going to happen. Let's prepare for a rerun. I think now I am again going to agree that IEBC was right. Miriam, IEBC was right to put that money. You know, for me, where I find the truth ahead, I say I was wrong. IBC was right to prepare for a rerun. I was very, very right. 100% very right. When they were right to prepare for a rerun, because it is going to happen. From Sunday, if Ruto uses one of those vehicles, bodyguards, because this is the first time in the history of the Constitution of Kenya that a sitting vice president, deputy president, is vying. Miriam, be careful on this. A sitting deputy president is vying in the 2010 Constitution. We did not put a provision that in case the sitting deputy president wants to vie, what do we do with the government institutions, machinery, tools he has? Therefore, somebody will go to Parliament or to the Supreme Court to vunja our election, and it will be listened to. We shall not swear our person on, I swear in the name of God. We shall not swear a president in Kenya on 11th. Do you want to bet?
No, even according to the Constitution, a president cannot be sworn in on...
No, I am saying between, let me be specific. I was saying that because don't be, yeah, between that period and that period, Miriam, the period when the president should be sworn in after 14 days, isn't it? We shall not swear that president. We shall still be in court. I'm simply saying we are going to have, you know, there is an election that gets finished and there's no complaint, isn't it? You have one, we sit home, and the secretary, cabinet secretary, announces the date of swearing. If you look at the Constitution of Kenya, they have also stipulated the date of swearing. Medium, how to swear in here, it is here. They have stipulated when to swear the state, the government. So I'm simply saying, I now rescind my word that the IEBC was wrong to apply for the money, but I will not rescind the word why judges should be given money when they are already trained. That one, Miriam, with you and I, we agreed on that. But I'm rescinding the question of IEBC. I can see the gray areas where any citizen of Kenya will go to the Supreme Court and the election, the swearing in will be delayed more than the stipulated time in the Constitution. That's what I'm saying. I submit, therefore, that there are so many mistakes that have been made. Yesterday was a very dark day. Nobody quoted the Bible. And I agree with Martha Karua when he said, let's call ourselves brethren. There is no need of calling ourselves Christians. Let's call ourselves Christians, but there's no need of saying I'm higher, I'm better, I'm not a sinner, I'm that. Let's all call ourselves Apple. Tuendelee hapo. I submit.
Okay. This is what, Daniel, this is what the Deputy President said yesterday. I know that serving as a Deputy President, I may have fallen short of expectations of my boss, my good friend, and I ask for your forgiveness. Dr. Ruto said the DP, who, however, did not share a table with the President, also asked Kenyans to forgive him and the Jubilee administration on areas where they have failed to live up to expectations. To the people of Kenya, I know we have tried our best. We may not have done as much as you would have expected of us. We have failed you in some areas and have not been as united as we should have been. I ask for your forgiveness, the DP said. So it's interesting. And then after that meeting, I think he went to Mombasa and he started attacking his boss's, projects at the coast. So this forgiveness business that we saw the Deputy President ask yesterday, I don't know, is it... was it even genuine in the first place? Daniel, I don't know if you're there. Gladwell?
Miriam, if there's something, Ruto is good in his pretense and hypocrisy. And not only Ruto, there's a problem in his team. The Kenya Kwanza, they got a big problem because they all appear to be smart, upwards thinking. They seem to be very smart when you look at them, but when they open up their mouth to speak, you get the opposite of them. For example, Aisha Juma, I don't know if you've seen the clip whereby she called the people dogs. Mbwa, have you seen it, Miriam?
No.
Yes, she said that, I can't remember who they were with, and the people bowed their time, they were not ready to listen to her. And Aisha said that every dog speaks to its people. Every person speaks to its dog. That is what she said. So there's a problem actually, and a bigger one in the Kenya Kwanza. And there's so many people who are messing up. Somebody like Ruto, it was just even they had not ended, and that's why I'm still sticking to these the utterances of Mother Karua, whereby she said that as you go out there, can what you've said here, can you act to it? And the shock, as you I actually expected it. Miriam, they all spoke well, but now let's wait and see to those people who are going to live according to it. And there's something else I also like about Mother. I'm also a Catholic, but I'm also not good in quoting the Bible. I'm not an atheist anyway. Mother said that she's also not good in quoting the Bible, and don't expect that you'll get a verse from her. Whereas Ruto, to prove the people, right or wrong on how he knows how to quote the Bible, quoted the wrong verse. And Ruto has quoted almost every part of the verse, giving it to the people apart from one. The one Doc has said, of giving back to the poor, what belongs to the poor. Ruto has never said that verse, and in fact, he has almost quoted the whole Bible, but he always misses out that verse. I wish he can also say it out so that we can see the genuine in him. Yesterday, he apologized, but he went to Mombasa, actually, and he started criticizing what the government has done, his president has done. So what kind of apology are you actually? How did you want to be forgiven? You still want to criticize, and you say that you have forgiven the people. His statement was sarcastic. Let me phrase it that it was sarcastic. And I also love what the president said at the end of it all. It was also sarcastic. Yesterday, the whole prayers, yes, there are those who meant it well for the country, but there are others who took it as a sarcastical joke. You see? So what I'm trying to say, Miriam, is these politicians, I wish some of these things that they do, like holding these prayers, I wish they were genuine when they're doing so, because you just can't go, because that is also like provoking God. You can't just go tell somebody that, Miriam, I want you to forgive me. Then after I've walked out of that gate and I'm like, Miriam, 1, 2, 3, what kind of forgiveness then was I asking for? You just better have kept quiet. You just shut up. Because at the end of it, you still know that you're also going to insult the same person. Sometimes silence is golden.
Okay, thank you so much. And I'm told that Paul Onyango has joined our conversation this morning. Yes, it is still morning, about 16 minutes past 11 a.m. here in Nairobi, East African time. A very good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, depending on where you're tuned in and watching us today. Paul Onyango, a very good morning to you.
Good morning to you and the viewers at large.
Okay.
Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you, but I'm trying to see you. I don't know if I'm able to do that, but yes, we can hear you loud and clear. So we were just looking at the prayer meeting yesterday, and Deputy President asking for forgiveness, and then thereafter he went to a rally in Mombasa where he again attacked some of the projects his boss is doing, and yet he had already asked for forgiveness during that national prayer service at the Safari Park Hotel. So I don't know, what are your thoughts on that before we move on to the next item?
Okay, my thoughts are Deputy President is...
And I think it's Gladwell Kirago, that, when we talk about even Christianity, the Bible tells us that our actions should go side by side with the words that we speak. So the Deputy President cannot be speaking about one thing and then proceed to do another. Yesterday he was talking about a family that prays together, stays together. He goes on a rally on the roof. Is that really what a church-going Christian should be doing? And is that what the Bible actually preaches? So I think maybe William Ruto is like what Dr. Masanga always talks about, the Pharisees of the times of Jesus, who actually used to preach water, but at the end of the day, they end up drinking.
Wasonga, we seem to be having a bit of a... We're having a problem with your connection. I don't know if you can, you're able to get a place where we can get a clear connection, because you're cutting off, so we're not able to fully hear what you're saying. So I don't know if you can move to a better position. And as we wait for you to do that, Paul Onyango, go ahead.
Okay, my take is this. Deputy President, being a politician, he knows where to place his cards. He has been playing to the gallery, which means when he was at Serena Hotel, he thought that was a solemn opportunity to tell the Christians who wish to hear that he can ask for forgiveness. He's a rightful man. When he leaves the place, that spirit of forgiveness was dropped at the door. He comes out with the usual quote, that is to attack the president at the administration where he's still serving. I think we cannot live on like this. That is what is called hypocrisy. Whatever you show to the public, it does not matter where you are. You need to be faithful. You need to be upright man. We don't see two colors in you, so we don't know who to judge. I think it's not giving us the right character that we need to observe from our Kenyan politicians. That's my take.
Okay, thank you. Daniel, are you able to speak now from a better place with a good reception? Okay, so I think we'll move on to the next matter. And we saw this week what made headlines and what trended in Kenya, those utterances from Kenya Kwanza running mate, Madhira Member of Parliament, Rigathi Gachagua. They say loose leaves might as well sink the ship. So right now that has caused a bit of jitters in Kenya Kwanza coalition. So we're going to look at that in the week that was. And I see the story is today on the Standard newspaper on page 8. Kenya Kwanza coalition insiders are jittery over the recent utterances by the presidential running mate, Rigathi Gachagua. They feel he is careless. His careless utterances are likely to trigger a voters' revolt. Since his nomination, Gachagua has been making headlines over his unguarded remarks and firm stand against UDA affiliate parties, which he considers fringe parties. During the burial of his brother, James Raine, on the May On May 18th, at Hiriga village in Mathira, Gachagua jokingly pleaded with the deputy president that upon his election as the president, he orders that during his visits, the doors of Sagana State Lodge and others remain open for locals to enter and eat meat, rice, and rice. Let us slaughter 35 bulls and cook amounts of rice to go with the beef. Our people don't want anything else. This is what used to happen during the Moi era, said Gachagua. The remarks were taken by Gachagua critics to mean that the first-term MP is not keen on agitating for Mount Kenya region and interest, but also thinking about food. And of course, later on, we saw that those statements that he made that also brought to him a lot of trouble when he was trying to explain the bottom-up economics in one of the local I think radio FM stations in the country earlier this week. So Disquiet in Kenya Kwanza over Gachagua careless outburst. So they're not very happy. The leaders in Kenya Kwanza are not very happy. Is it about time Gachagua was just left to the campaign and he should not be sent, to perhaps do these radio interviews, or should he be guided on how to speak? Because whatever he says right now, is taken very seriously, being a running mate in the Kenya Kwanza Azimio. So what should be the solution to this loose mouth of Rigathi Gachagua, which might cost Kenya Kwanza? Perhaps, Doc, you would start for us that conversation.
Thank you very much, the studios. Thank you very much, the studios of Punchline Africa TV, together with my platform, Matanga David, on Facebook. We are doing very well, and if you are listening, you can watch our platform. You can go to my page and watch all the words that we are saying. Miriam, thank you very much for the question that you are asking about what Gachagua said, Rigathi said. Rigathi is becoming a problem for the party. Is becoming the same problem that we see. Is becoming a problem for everybody. The difference between Rigathi and Martha Karua is like the difference between that open this Sagana Lodge for us to eat the rice. The stadium in Kenya, in your country, I will not go because everybody there will step on your head to get the free things. So that is very wrong, an insult to the people of the Kikuyu. They don't need free things. They need hard-working things. They need things that they have worked for. Okay? We work hard. Kenya is not a capitalist, is not a communist state. Kenya is a capitalist state. It's a capitalist state where you work, where you struggle, where you wake up and go and work. And there is nobody in any of the theories of Adam Smith, of which I have read Adam Smith up to the end. Look at Adam Smith did not tell you that you wait for handouts. The money comes from the top and it trickles down to the bottom. You can't expect the people from the bottom to give you the money. Because I'm telling you in the name of God, it won't come. If Ruto says he's going to sell his money, sell his manifesto, where is he going to get this money? This 100 billion, is it 100? How much is it, Miriam, in the studios? How much is it that is going to get for each? Is it 100 million?
100 billion.
100 billion. Onyango, thank you very much in Mombasa. 100 billion. Where will he get it? Where will he get it? It is from the top to the bottom. There is nobody in the industry. He has not told us 6,000 Kenya shillings per month for the most vulnerable communities, people in the community. It's not 6 person, but 42 million, as some people, midgets, would like to think. It is vulnerable communities. The department is there. There is a ministry that has collected those who are vulnerable. That's why we have a center for the data center. That's why we have an office for data in Kenya. There is a lady there in charge of the data. They know how many people are old. They know how many people are sick of AIDS, of malaria, of cough, of leprosy. That center has got private confidential documents. It tells you. And in future, your Uduma number, once you travel out of this country and come back at the immigration, you put your Uduma number, it will tell you that you have a crime, you have a criminal record, you have a problem, you are not well, you are an old man. The problem here is that people don't understand. People are not understanding what Raila has done. People come to the platforms which we should use very effectively, Miriam, and start insulting people. You see? Start insulting people. You don't insult people. This platform is not even yours. Because some of the people, Miriam, when they come here, they don't discuss the agenda of the two candidates. So, Rigathi is destroying Kenya Kwanza campaign. It is done, especially those in the mountains. Kikuyus don't like free things. Kikuyus, you can't tell them you will open the state lodge in Sagana. Why didn't he say open the state lodge in Nairobi? Why did he go and say state lodge in Sagana? Because Sagana is in his constituency. So they eat rice and keep quiet while Ruto and Rigathi are collecting money and eating and buying more properties, more apartments. It is a shame. A very big shame for people. For me, Miriam, yesterday the prayer, the prayer plus this what you are saying, if I were Ruto, I would be very, very worried about putting Rigathi on interview because he is not very vast. He is very good at mobilizing. Put him as a mobilizer, but not a person to face the news. You see? Not anything else more than that. And I look at all these obstacles and the challenges. Miriam, what has annoyed me, the people on, not what annoyed, what saddens me is what Martha Karua has just said. Have you seen what he has said? She has just said. Martha Karua has said something just now, very, very important, which I don't know whether Martha Karua is reading my mind. I'm very happy about it. And thank you, Madam Martha Karua, for doing the good job. Yes, she has said, until IEBC, she wants IEBC to come out clear, which Matanga has been saying for the last 4 years, that if I were a Kenyan, I would not allow Chebukati to catch my vote. No. If I were a Kenyan, I would not allow Mr. Chebukati to touch my vote anymore. Because Kenyans who are insulting people now don't see the danger we are going to go through. Whether you are on the side of Ruto or you are on the side of Raila Odinga, you don't want to waste another 60 billion doing another election. It's better to stop and do the election rightly. The law says nobody should conduct a fundraising. The law that stops fundraising was in last October, isn't it? Or November, Miriam. Was it in November that fundraising was supposed to stop? That fundraising is still going on. People are advertising that come to the hotel and fundraise for me. People are fundraising now. Nobody is catching them. So if you think I'm stupid, I don't care. In fact, even if you insult me 200 times, Miriam, I don't care. You will not reach my status where I am. You will not. You will remain in your village in Kericho, still money being taken away from you. You remain in your village in Nandi, poor as you are, and not everybody will be taking money from you. Let's talk about it. I don't care. And that's why I'm saying the IEBC is not a very good place for Kenya. And let's wait. If I'm wrong again, I will come on the same platform very shortly, very soon. Very soon, I will come on this platform and ask you, didn't I tell you? I will come. Wafula Chebukati cannot run an election. And then you see Martha Karua has sent one shot. She's not a woman who compromises. If you are not going to hold a free and a fair election, let's prepare our papers for the petition to the Supreme Court. You can read that comment, Miriam, for the viewers to know what Martha Karua has just said now.
I don't have it with me, but I'm trying to look for it. Once I get it, I will...
I can... Jeff can give you to read. It is just the technical team in the headquarters in Nairobi. Can you read the comment? She said, Wafula, the IEBC must tell whether they have rectified the faults that nullified the election of 2017. If they don't, then we have a problem there. That's what he has said. And for people in Kenya, they love to glorify things. They love to say, our thief is our thief. Yes, your thief is your thief, but when the money that you are stealing is no longer there, the thief will return on you to beat you up. Miriam, if the money is got finished, it's stolen and it is finished, what does the thief? If the thief comes to you at night in your house and says, I want money, and you tell the thief, I don't want the money, one other thing that the thief turns on is to kill you. So very soon, this country, Kenya, people will steal. We still want, I don't know whether, Miriam, you have lined up. Whether you have lined up what we are supposed to see on the question of integrity. The people that we are choosing to go to parliament. The people we are choosing to go to presidency. The people we are choosing to be women rep. The people we are choosing, it is up to this platform is free for people to express their views. And when you feel that you want to express your views, go to your platform and also talk the way I'm talking. And see how many minutes you will spend talking. We must educate people. If you are in court, why should people of your constituency waste money after you have been convicted again? And they say the court finds you guilty. Why would you elect a person who is going to be spending time in court? Is going to spend time in court defending himself than electing a person who is not spending time in court. Why? There is no defeat here. Just elect a person who is innocent. And if the vote comes, and by the way, Miriam and the fellow panelists who are on the panel, election is not a matter of life and death. Election is not a matter of life and death. Election is a selection. An election is to elect somebody you think you are confident of. So if it doesn't go through, it means somebody else has found that person confident. So for Ruto's people to think that when they elect Ruto to become a president, they will kill everybody in Kenya, including people who are here. No. That uproot method, the way to you uproot people from your villages in the Rift Valley, should end, should stop. You uprooted people in 2007. You killed very many. And some of us went to defend you. So Ruto should stop that uproot mentality and tell his people who come on Facebook here to be very careful that everybody looks at you as people who uproot and take your farms. Mutashi went home, Miriam. Mutashi went home. Mutashi went to the Mecca without having given the compensation that Ruto. A man has been convicted for land in Kanu, everything up to today. You really want him to be a president? It's up to you. It's not a matter of life and death. If you elect him and the Kenyans like him, so be it. It's your country. But of all what we are saying, Miriam, is God bless you. If I were a Kenyan voter, I would not vote a thief like a Ruto and a Rigathi. No, I would try to vote. I would try to vote Martha Karua, and I also want to tell people that I influence worldwide, and those whom I influence in Kenya who see my voice as a good one, that they wake up and vote Raila, Amolo Odinga, and Martha Karua. They will help you, not me. I don't need help because I'm already ahead of that help. Thank you. Miriam, back to you in the studios.
Okay, so we were looking at, the sentiments by Rigathi Gachagua, the running mate for Kenya Kwanza, which seems to be now putting the coalition at odds, and perhaps some of his messaging, according to some insiders in Kenya Kwanza, might affect how the voters perceive the agenda that Kenya Kwanza has for them. And of course, these are some of the concerns that have been raised with some of the coalition partners like Mwangi Kinjuri and others. But Rigathi Gachagua sees nothing wrong. This is according to a story on page 8 on the Standard newspaper. He sees nothing wrong with his remarks and insisted his comments were well received and only taken out of context by rivals. He also blamed his opponents for paying bloggers to twist his remarks to taint him in a bad light. Bloggers paid by our opponents picked selected words, twisted them selectively and gave them negative meaning, said Gachagua. I said with the bottom-up economic model, we shall empower the ordinary people, expanding the tax brackets that will see ordinary people paying more taxes than established corporates like Safaricom. So he's saying his sentiments were taken out of context, what he said the other day. So he's blaming it on bloggers and perhaps the media. And he's saying this is by his opponents who are doing this to twist his words. So he did not say what what you think he said. Gladwell, I know you had an issue with what Gachagua said earlier on this week, but he's saying, that is not really what he meant. He said we just need to expand the tax bracket from the majority of the people below the small businesses.
Miriam, this is the problem of talking and yapping without thinking first what you're about to say. Then later, after you realize that you made a mistake, you try to rectify it, but the mistake is already done. So I'm always shocked. Like, for example, what Malala said, that he take up the word, he has taken up his words of what he said about our cops. How will you make the people forget that you said so and so? How will you make the people forget? And at the same time, the internet never forgets. What you say will never be forgotten. So it's high time, and I always say, can the Kenya Kwanza, as they open up their mouth to speak, can they think first of what they're about to say? There's something I love about Mother. Mother is always eloquent, and we also saw yesterday during the prayer breakfast, she was very calm, very composed. She was sure of what she's saying, and when she's not sure, She says, don't expect that I will say it because there's no need of misleading the people. No, this is the problem with Kenya Kwanza. They just want to speak for the sake of them being listened to, for them to be heard that these guys spoke. Now, some Rigathi Gachagua, what he's saying that the opponents, the bloggers were paid to twist his words. I mean, he was live on an interview. So, and that is what he said from his mouth. So who twisted the information from from the horse's mouth? He himself spoke. So who else? Who inside him then twisted the information? He spoke alone in a live interview. So this thing of the Kenya Kwanza people, and it is most of them, when they just open up their mouth to speak, it has just become a mess. It is just a mess. So there's this important thing of think before you speak. What you're about to speak matters a lot, and it can either make it better or just make it worse. The choice is yours. The choice is in your words. So what he said was already taken by the people, and there's nothing you can do to undo the mess that you did.
Very well, thank you, Paul.
Paul in Mombasa.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Rigathi is saying, his sentiments were taken out of context.
No, Gachagua is not just understanding himself. Since the time he was an administrator in the Moi government, the sins he committed are still following him. He can't be an upright man in public speeches. He needs to be careful. He did very many bad things to the Kenyans. Those things have never been forgiven to him.
But let me ask you, Onyango. You have been online, and you are one of the people who has actually confirmed to me that Gachagua is born in Baringo. He came with the mother to Nyeri.
Yes, yes.
So no wonder Ruto chose his fellow Kalenjin. He did not choose yesterday this came out in Bunyala, Bunyala, in Wanjala. They opened up and said the Gachagua came with the mother to Nyeri. And when we go to Nyeri next week, we are going to ask Nyeri people who grew up with this man, whether the father was the real father. Because we are going to ask politics now. It means the leadership has gone in two hands. Going back in the Rift Valley, the president is from Rift Valley, the deputy is from Rift Valley. You have been saying that. Now you are on the public platform. Can you give us more information?
Okay, maybe I would speak about it later on. Some of these things, they are very sensitive as Africans.
No, this is not, Miriam. I'm sorry, Miriam, to bring this up because Onyango has been accosting me. And today I've found Onyango on the public platform. It is said that Mr. Gachagua was born like Mr. Nelson Harvey. Mr. Nelson Harvey is from Congo. The father is a Congolese. And the mother is from Kakamega. So, if he has been naturalized, you say you are naturalized, but you don't tell people you will win the constituency when you have not told the truth. So for me, I am a Ugandan. My mother is a Ugandan. My father is a Ugandan. I have been naturalized somewhere globally, not even in Kenya. Yes, because some of these midgets who go on harassing me think that I am in Kenya begging for food. No, I'm a global citizen. Please, give me a break. I'm only trying to help the country so that it doesn't go to chaos. I fought for my country from 1982. I have handed the baton over to Bob Wine. I cannot stick there fighting. I'm not younger anymore. I want some of these guys, stupid people, to know it, especially those on my platform, Miriam. You don't forget I'm addressing two platforms. So, Onyango, I was asking you clearly.
Yes.
Surely.
Yes.
Is Kachagwa born in Nyeri?
Gachagua was born in Moi's family. So there are photographs are going around where he was still a young boy, like my son here. That one confirms that he was born there.
Yes. There you are. We are going to expand that because this was said by the Bunyala MP, Wanjala, and that it was said publicly on national television. So when we go to Nyeri, we are going to ask Nyeri to show us whether the mother came with Mr. Kachagwa from Baringo in Kabaranet. This is where it's going to be very interesting politics. So when the Kenyans find out that the president and the deputy president have both come from one place, the vote is done. The vote is done for Azimio. Azimio will do the vote.
Yes.
I am telling you, they have not checked that they are in chaos. They don't know that we are going to bring that bombshell yet. And on this side of Azimio, we also have people who can talk, especially Matanga. When he joins you, Matanga has never joined a side that has failed. So let people know that, Miriam. I only join a side that wins. I told you I will defeat Ocampo. I defeated Ocampo. I told you so many things. Now there you are. I was warning you that IEBC is not a good institution. IEBC is not a good institution to run your elections. People were thinking I was a liar. Now listen, things are going to come. Chebukati should not run an election in anywhere in Africa, because he's going to mess this Kenyan election. I've told people, and I'm not shy of controversy. If you have a better answer to that, tell me. And I'm not going to be bothered to be brought down by idiots. If you're an idiot, you can insult. But if you have a brain, we can talk. We can talk very nicely. But if you come here to insult, I'm a very good guy. I can also insult, because there's nothing you are going to do. You have not even left your village in Turkana or Bungoma. You are insulting a man who has traveled 126 countries. What will you get? Nothing. So I'm ready for it. Miriam, back to you. Let's get the truth. The truth here is Kachagwa's statements in the newspapers, on radio, are embarrassing to Kenya Kwanza. Thank you.
Okay. Wesonga, your thoughts on
Wesonga is not there.
Gladwell.
I think Gladwell has made
Miriam had made my comments.
Okay. All right, so I guess we just move on to...
Let's move on to another topic.
Yeah.
The Democratic Republic of Congo, Miriam, something that has touched me. I don't know whether you have it on your list up there in the studios.
Yeah, and I think I featured it on my afternoon show yesterday, but yes, it's one of the topics that I would like for us to look at. It's now accusing Rwanda of sponsoring the M23 rebels, and it's not the first time that these accusations are being leveled against Rwanda. So perhaps you could start us off in that conversation.
Thank you very much, Miriam. On this television, we only don't discuss on the Kenyan issues. We discuss issues that affect Africa. And I want to thank you very much for that tenacity, for holding this forum. A few months ago, President Uhuru Kenyatta called a conference in Kenya for all rebel groups, Miriam, to sit down and renounce violence. The president spent time for a whole week. This country spent money trying to put the rebels together in Congo to find a solution for Congo. Unfortunately, the same people that were seated on the table No sooner had they arrived at their homes than they started the same habits and the same war. Now, Miriam, I agree with the people of Tanzania and the President Samia Suluhu, who said she cannot sit on the table with the people who fund the same rebels, and then they come on table, they don't say who funds them. You can see now, Uganda entered the Congo. And when Uganda entered the Congo, dismantled the ADF units, there were other units. They claim to have finished their job. They are trying to withdraw their troops this week, or this starting from next month. Whether that job has been done or not, I don't know. But the truth remains that every party that they are living, there is still also a part where rebels are digging in. I think, Miriam, you have seen that very well, that there is still war. So for me, the only thing that I can give on this issue of Congo is one most important thing. Let the leaders of East Africa come out very clear. Stop funding the rebels. That's all my contribution this morning on the rebel activities in the DRC Congo. I think we don't need to deliver much on that because yesterday you talked about it. Let's move to another topic that is outstanding there. In the studio, which you had lined up.
We seem to have just mixed them up together.
Yeah, even if we have mixed, yeah, let's come.
Touched on all of them, so it's a bit. All right, let me see if there's anything we've not talked about that I had lined up. We seem to have touched on majority of what I had lined up for us this morning. But I know this week also we did dwell so much on Chapter 6 of the Kenyan Constitution on leadership and integrity.
Oh yes, the leadership and integrity. Let Gladwell start on
it. Miriam, it's always an interesting topic on the leadership and integrity. But actually, you know, when you talk about integrity in Kenya, it sounds to be an irony. There's some things in Kenya we always speak about, and most when we visit our leaders, we actually look like a big joke because integrity in our leaders, only a few actually practicing what is needed. And we said that without integrity, that's why our leaders always mess up. That's why they'll say this and then the next time they act this way. And there's one leader I just admire and I love about her integrity, the Iron Lady. She's a leader who understands that integrity is very important in our country. And that's why we can see that so many people are afraid of her getting into power and getting into the deputy president position because they know that some of these things in Kenya, like corruption, will be a history. We'll be saying that so and so maybe they were actually walking freely, but now they're in remand actually. So integrity is very important in our country, and I wish that our leaders, as they are sworn in, some of these things we could be looking upon. And I wish as some of these leaders, they are vying for positions, the IEBC would restrict them not to be given nominations or maybe not to be elected, because there's no way we can elect somebody who got cases all over corruption, and others have been impeached and they still want to go back to the same position on the same government. And this is why we mess up as Kenyans. Integrity is no longer in our leaders, and the leadership parts. Everybody, leadership, you just can't wake up and feel like I want to be a leader. No. And that's why we can see that these leaders we elect, they all think that they are leaders, but they are not. And that is why when they open up their mouths to speak, it becomes a problem. I mean, what they are trying to say and what they are saying, that does not match up their action. Because as you speak, you also want to be seen as a leader, but no, you're not. Your choice of words and your action have to go hand in hand with you being a leader. And hence, we need leadership and integrity back in our country.
Okay. All right, thank you so much. And for the interest of our viewers, I know this word is and this chapter of our Constitution is thrown around, so much, but perhaps a lot of us don't really understand what is it that entails that a public servant or anybody seeking a public office, how they should carry out themselves and what the Constitution requires of them. And if at all, that is why we don't get to hold our leaders accountable, because a lot of them really do violate this chapter of the Constitution, but because I think we're ignorant about it, or we are accustomed to the bad manners that we see play out, especially in a political arena, so we don't know what to do. But just a quick reminder, Chapter 6 of Leadership and Integrity in the Kenyan Constitution, I'll just go to Article 73 of our responsibility of leadership, and I'll not look at the whole of it, just to give a gist. This is the core of this chapter in the Constitution, and Section 1, subsection A of the Article 73, authority assigned to a state officer is a state public trust to be exercised in a manner that, one, is consistent with the purposes and the objects of this Constitution, two, demonstrates respect for the people. Whatever decision, however this person carries themselves in public, it should demonstrate respect for the people of Kenya, and whoever is in this office and whatever he's doing, his person in that office should bring honor to the nation and dignity to the office that he's sitting or she is sitting in, and promotes public confidence in the integrity of the office. And subsection B of that, vest in the state officer the responsibility to serve. That is the chapter 6. Vest in the state officer the responsibility to serve the people rather than the power to rule them. So you are a servant of the people. That is what the Constitution says. But you're not a ruler of the people. You are supposed to serve the people in that capacity, in that office that the people of Kenya have trusted you with, or you have been elected or been given. Now, as a subsection 2, the guiding principles of leadership and integrity include selection on the basis of personal integrity, and I know yesterday we dwelt so much on the issue of personal integrity, competence, and suitability or election in free and fair elections, and B, objectivity and impartiality in decision making, and ensuring that decisions are not influenced by nepotism, favoritism, and other improper motives or corrupt practices, selfless service based solely to the public interest. Whatever you do must be of public interest first. The public has to come first when you're a public servant, demonstrated by honesty in the execution of public duties and the declaration of any personal interest that may conflict with public duties, and then D, accountability to the public for decisions and actions, and discipline and commitment in service to the people. So the core mandate of this, whatever you do and however you carry yourself, it has to do first with the people of Kenya, and then that is the core. Is it the decisions you're making, whatever you're saying, is it in the best interest of the people of Kenya? So when you're a public servant, I think that is the core of this and does it honor the people of Kenya, and does it honor that office that you are privileged to be carrying out? So if we were to just go by looking at what this chapter in the Constitution says, especially this Article 73, Paul, I don't know how many of our leaders would come short of this. Okay, he's not there. Yeah, there, Doc. Go ahead.
Miriam, thank you very much for Punchline Television to invite us here. Let me say one thing. Among all what you have written right now, among what you have read, there is one thing that is very clear. There are three things. I will go to Article 73, 2A. And that's the one I want to remind the Kenyans this week, which we talked about, is personal integrity, competence, and suitability. Suitability, if you are not suitable, if you don't have personal integrity issue, If you have been taken to court allegedly, even if it is not convicted, allegedly, you now have personal integrity issue. If someone says you were a wizard at night, I saw you, you say you are not a wizard, you are not a white night runner, and then they go before the village chief. The village chief will not allow you. He will say, don't go back to run at night until this case is fully. You don't go back to your place and start running again at night. I'm using a little example for the Mamambogas and other people in the villages. If people suspect you to be a cattle thief, you steal their cows in the village. In the Kisii, if they suspect you to be a witch, they ban you, which is not very good. And I'm not encouraging people in the Kisii to ban people. But I am saying, if you have been caught and your allegation is so huge that you had 7.4 billion shillings of equipment which you took and sold and took the money, your integrity is already dented. If you have been arrested because you shot someone in a nightclub in Kilimani, Bobo Owino, your integrity is bad. Step aside. See, that's what I'm saying. Whether you are on Azimio or you are in Kwanza or what, if the integrity, you are mentioned that Kidero, you took all the money of Nairobi County and there were charges, about 10 cases on you, you are struggling with them. You have spoiled your integrity. Step aside. I fully support Martha Koome, Chief Justice Martha Koome on this one. And by the way, Miriam, some people who are used to crime or who are used to making money out of crime are harassing this woman, saying they will go to court to block her over this, over that. No. You have forgotten, and the Miriam, listen carefully, you have forgotten the Chief Justice is the head of judiciary. The only thing you can do to her is to petition the Justice Service Commission and petition the president. Then you can remove the Chief Justice. But as far as management of the court is concerned, she has told you, she has given you a warning that anybody who has got a case to answer there, don't try to go to the elections. Because in her court, you will not come. And that's it. What to do? What do? What do? You do nothing. If you have got a case, stay out of the elections. There are Kenyans who think we are against some of their candidates. But the truth is this. The truth is this. Imagine you elected this candidate, your MP. He has a case in the court of corruption. He will spend most of the time going to court. He will not travel. He would have left his passport in the court, because once you have a court and they have given you bail, you will deposit your passport in the court. So there is a delegation that is going to Britain to learn about health care, Miriam. Let's ask. A delegation is going to United Kingdom to learn about health care. And in the process, this delegation, your MP is supposed to accompany them. He will spend time to apply for whether the passport will be given to him or not. In the end, the judges can say, you are going to UK, you might run away and you will not stand justice. You are not going. Look at Waluke. Waluke was sentenced to 67 years. And the Miriam, this is very serious, grave offenses. Aisha Juma, Bobu Owino, they shot people. They killed people. Someone killed Bobu Owino, shot this guy, DJ, is walking. The guy who used to walk very well and he's not walking. And you now want to give him another ticket to proceed to go to another parliament to shoot more. Aisha Juma. So when you look at some of these people who comment so much, or this or that, look at that. What country will you have when a person who has taken money from you and you are still fighting for Mama Mboga? You say you are fighting for Hasora, but these people have taken money from the Hasora. The people telling you, Hasora, Hasora, Hasora. Their children are standing in Britain. Your child doesn't even know where Britain is and will never know. And then you continue to shout, oh, Hasora, Hasora. You really doesn't know. Your food is not coming on the table. Who is laughing to the bank? Who is laughing to the bank? You can't call anybody any names. But your child will never know Britain, will never know India, will never know Bangladesh. Their children have gone to India, they have gone to America, they have gone to South Africa, they have gone to good schools. That is the point. That's why Chief Justice Comey said, no, 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 no. It is not going to happen. If you have integrity issues, whether proved or not, imagine Sonko. Sonko was dead in 2005, but he resurrected. Miriam, Sonko resurrected allegedly in somewhere in 2013. Mr. Sonko resurrected from death. You know, you should take Mr. Sonko as a very good Jesus of Gladwell. I leave you to make comments on that, please. Thank you very much. This is Punchline Africa Television, broadcasting from Nairobi in Kenya. I am away from the station. Media is in Nairobi headquarters. Thank you very much. Gladwell, I leave it to you to comment, because let me take time to laugh a bit. Sonko died in 2005 and resurrected in 2013. Mike Sonko. And he agreed that he ran out of prison. He agreed. Now you are electing him. You want to elect him, he died. So, Gladwell, Miriam, invite Gladwell to finish this. Let me laugh a bit. Gladwell, there you are, take it over. Sonko has resurrected, so take it over.
All right. Thank you. And also, as we look at that chapter 6 of the Kenyan Constitution, there's a section there, Article 76, on financial probity of state officers. And Section 1 says a gift or donation to a state officer on a public or official occasion is a gift or donation to the Republic and shall be delivered to the state unless exempted under an Act of Parliament. So any gift that a person receives while there is still serving, that should be given to the state, or, the Constitution is very clear about that. So it's just part of the leadership and integrity. Gladwell, I know you made your comments a bit earlier. I don't know if there's anything else that you would love to add to that.
I want to finish the statement of Dr. David Matsanga. You know, with what is happening in Kenya, anything currently is actually possible in Kenya. I don't know if she's prophetic or what she is, but I'm one person, I don't believe in prophets, and I'm sorry to say so. I believe in my faith. We can see somebody like Mike Sonko, the way Doc is saying that she died, and well, let's say like he died, and let me call it he resurrected back, and he's back to life again. I don't know if it's the second phase or what is it, but you know, with Kenya, anything is possible. Anything can be said, anything can be done. Now, my question would be: he ran out of prison. Why wasn't he taken back? You know, I also want to say that even our judges are very corrupt. Kenya, everybody is corrupt, and I was shocked when somebody told me that most of those people living in Nairobi ni shamba la mawe, but at the same time you have to have your means of surviving. And the people who live large by and have their means of survival are the politicians. These politicians are capable of doing anything for their fame, for them to survive. Let me look at somebody. I respect her so much, her being a woman, but let me look at somebody like Rachel Ruto. The other time she said that at her place there was no, I can't remember what, there was something, and she turned it into something. Now yesterday, I don't know if it is fake or it is true. She said that she turned musik into water. I don't believe in prophets, but you know, some of these things happening in Kenya and happenings in political homes, they're very abnormal. Because okay, yes, that there are people who pray and things happen, but at the same time, there's these things, we call them exaggerated things. You know, everybody got a way of living life. We all have our faith, but at the same time, what I know, and I have said I don't believe in prophets, but at least I know there are some who are true prophets, and the way they live their life, actually nobody can know. You don't have to come and say I'm a prophet, or maybe I do this and this, that I can, Miriam, the tea you're taking there can change it into water. You won't even believe me. There's some things which are unbelievable. With our Kenyan politician, with them, everything is possible. And that's why you find that you mess up politicians, or you cross their line, and the next thing you're missing somebody like Mercy. Mercy was killed. We know the story, which was related to Kabogo. This is what happens. You mess with them and you're done. Somebody like Okoda, you know what happened? The same, she was pregnant. You see, she was wiped out. This is the country we are having, a country whereby we also have in our constitution a section of leadership and integrity. So do they actually practice it? That's why we're saying also we need to review our constitution. Can the constitution actually accommodate things that our politicians can manage to handle? We just can't write down that our politicians should have integrity, that they should have the leadership skills, yet they don't even qualify for it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I don't know if Paul is there or Daniel. I'm not able to tell from my side.
Paul Onyango from Mombasa is available.
I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Yes. My take is this. You see, people like Sonko, they're just creating a drama in their life. Then the gullible Kenyans who are poor, they take advantage of them. They have made their life, they have made money in a very wrong way. They come back to us when we are in problems, when there's fire, they come bring food, blankets, then they shout, we are helping Kenyans. Please, Kenyans, may I ask you, let us not entertain people in the society who have not repented, that they made sins, they have changed, they are walking in the right path. The politicians are creating comedy time and again. Sonko is not a very good man to be part of the political. He belongs to jail. He has never gone back to jail. How he came out of jail, how he died and resurrected.
Sorry.
Simon Makonde. Yes. So when we allow these kind of things to continue happening in our everyday life, I think we are not moving forward. We need to change our way of thinking, our way of the business as usual need to change. We need to refocus. We had missed some steps behind. We need to change our life. People like Waluke should not stand as politicians to be elected. He was convicted for theft. He's still struggling with it. Why should he just run to go and baada aendelee tu kusimama kama mbunge? Ya nini? What was Sirisia? You don't have other people to vie. Send that man home. That's my take.
Yango, I agree with you. There are so many Kenyans in these constituencies who are even Azimio, very good candidates. If we are really running for candidates who have integrity, and who have no, if you are choosing a candidate who has no integrity, personal integrity, forget about integrity, integrity, personal integrity, personal, Kwanza, between you and God. You pulled out a pistol and shot someone. Don't you feel you have a problem of personal integrity, surely, Paul Anyango? When you are given that pistol, you are given instructions that you don't pull it out in public. Not even your wife can see it. Not even your children can see the pistol. The rules of Kenya for giving out a pistol are very clear, Miriam. You don't walk with it, showing it to the public. There are very clear regulations in Kenya. But you have bodyguards, you order bodyguards to shoot a person in the cliff, in a nightclub or in a rally. Then you want to come for the question of personal integrity. Surely, you don't qualify. So thank you very much for me on that one. Miriam, I don't have any, I think I don't have, no. I don't have sympathy. Whoever has a problem, let him sort out. We should not entertain such issues. Kenya needs better MPs, better women rep, better governors, better deputy governors, better deputy presidents. The only presidency that, as me, if I were a Kenyan voter, and I like to people who like me also in Kenya, millions who watch me, who believe in what I've said, the generation that saw me struggling for people in ICC, from 2013, 2010 up to today, vote. Raila Amolo Odinga with Martha Karua. You have somebody there who cares. The rest don't care. The rest want to go and accumulate wealth. These two, and if I were, Martha has taken a quick route to presidency. Believe me, in Raila's presidency, there is quality. There is quality, and there is that thing of Mandela in Raila that I see. Raila could say, I've done 5 years. I want my deputy to be the next. Or I've done 4 years. I want my deputy to finish this last year as she prepares to go. And that is good politics. This country will have a first president, a woman, and Africa will be, hallelujah. They will be disciplined here. Hata kama unaingia kwa kiwanja unaanza kusema ala, which mistake am I making first? In Martha Karua, I see that discipline coming back. And the new generation, the people of Kenya, you people in Kenya, listen to me. If that behavior comes back, Kenya will be the best. You are already good people, but you have leaders who are not very good. Some of them, like Ruto, they are not worth it. You can't mention Ruto. If these things that they are saying, I didn't know him. until the ICC issue. That's when I started seeing that type of head in this Ruto. I did not know him. It's when I started saying ICC is a very bad thing. Because ICC had already come to my country and disorganized us, Miriam. But when I saw Ruto struggling I came, I blanketly said, but had I known that this is the type of man I was trying to defend, I believe me or not, I would not have taken part. I also want to tell the truth that God forgive me for that. Also, God forgive me for having taken part in defending Ruto at the ICC and making noise on your television for a long time in defense of Ruto. I would have only defended my friend whom I knew, at least I knew Kenyatta. But I didn't know this other younger man. But the behavior is exhibiting now shows that he will be worse than Arap Moi. And you will see, it is a matter of time. If they ever get power here, all of them will be in the city, arresting people that are intelligence officers. I'm telling you, we suffered under that regime. What? Me, not Dr. Matsanga, I can't say. No. So, Miriam, thank you very much. It is what the time we passed, we shot over the hour, 24 minutes. I would like to thank you very much and thank all of you who have been watching us, both on my platform, as I speak to the main TV Punchline. Always tune in Punchline. All these comments that you make them on my television station. It has been there for 7 years. It is the first television station online. It employs Kenyans, not Ugandans. So don't talk about me being a Ugandan, this, that. The people there, most of them are Kenyans. They are there. You talk, always watch when we start the program and you see me on the platform, you know the TV is working. Do look at the ideas of the younger men there on that platform. Don't look at mine only. Thank you very much, all of you who have listened to me since morning. For me, back to you in the studios in Nairobi, Kenya. Asante sana, Miriam.
All right, and that is where we end our show this afternoon, about 25 minutes past noon here in Nairobi. Thank you so much for watching. We shall be back here on Sunday with Africa Showdown, where we shall be looking at some of the topics that are making headlines on the current affairs from across the continent of Africa. My name is Miriam Ogutu. Bye-bye for now.